Well, you see the background is a little different tonight. Instead of the line, that's because of the fact that we did a You're the Power segment, and we will just continue to use this Phoenix back there as it relates to this particular segment. We will look at some issues, not quite in the order that we might have done had we had more time, so we'll just hit and run. But the thing we really want to talk about is today is day 17th of this government shutdown by these damn democratic reptilians. So, Mr. McDonald, would you start this with that piece with Johnson speaking on that, and then we'll just run right on down this list, and maybe the public can see just how devilish these damn Democrats are. These devils don't even want to pay the military. And they wait. They want to wait till tomorrow, the 18th,
I
so they can go have a
on a
hate
day
rally.
like this, at the end of another long week, I just feel like we ought to apologize. I hate that we have to do this. I don't want to be here any more than you do talking about this subject. It is so difficult to be a happy warrior when you know that so many millions of American people are suffering, being made to suffer unnecessarily. Of the Democrat shutdown. I feel like on a day like this, at the end of another long week, I just feel like we ought to apologize. I hate that we have to do this. I don't want to be here any more than you do talking about this subject. It is so difficult to be a happy warrior when you know that so many millions of American people are suffering, being made to suffer unnecessarily because of the Democrats' political games. If you're keeping count at home, we're on day 17 of the shutdown. The Democrats have now voted for the 11th time to keep the government closed. 11 times now. They've refused to just do their basic job, get the government going again, making sure that federal employees are paid, that our troops are paid, Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and everyone else who relies upon the vital services of our federal government. They're being denied that because Democrats in Congress are playing games. And right now, to add insult to injury, if you're paying attention at home, you also need to make note of this. Yesterday, the Senate Democrats took it a step further. They rejected a standalone bill to fund our nation's defense and pay our troops. They voted it down. Now, why is that so noteworthy? Well, the bill was passed out of committee in the Senate with broad bipartisan support. And yet, the Democrats still engaged in a stunt on the floor, and they rejected it. So now they are on record specifically and exclusively to block the paychecks of the troops, to block the funding of our national defense in a very dangerous moment in world history. It is absurd to us. Leader Thune said this on the floor, on the Senate floor after that vote. He said, quote, "That one vote demonstrates just how fundamentally disinterested Democrats are in supporting our troops and providing for our common defense." Yes, that is exactly what we saw. And I suspect that if they were here today and it was on the floor, they'd do it once again. Now, tomorrow, the Democrat leaders are going to join for a big party out on the National Mall. They're going to descend on our Capitol for their much-anticipated so-called No Kings rally. We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally, okay? And I'm not sure how anybody can refute that. If you think about what's going to happen here tomorrow, you're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party. That is the modern Democratic Party. That's where they've gone. And the Hate America rally is the common theme among all those groups. Listen to the language they use themselves. Many of them don't like living in America. They hate capitalism. They hate our free enterprise system. They hate our principles. They hate the ideas that we come in to work every day to fight for, to preserve, in the greatest nation in the history of the world. They hate the idea.
All right, now, that speaks for itself. And it's a disgrace. But now we're going to listen to a woman that's going to tell you part of the reason these devils have held the American public hostage. Hit that piece, Mr. McDonald.
Everybody, here we are again. I'm going to be very clear. Chuck Schumer wants a dirty deal. I'll say it again. Chuck Schumer wants a dirty deal. One that caters to his radical base. The same crowd planning to protest at their I Hate America rally this weekend. And what is in this so-called deal? Let's take a look at what's in Chuck Schumer's dirty deal. Let me spell it out. It adds $1.5 trillion to our national debt. $1.5 trillion. It hands out health care to illegal immigrants. That's not a talking point. That's a fact. It guts the most historic investment Congress has ever made in rural health care. Again, that's a fact. And it weakens health care for hardworking Americans. Begin to see the compare and contrast? Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want to protect illegals and hurt Americans. Republicans, we actually want to do what we were elected to do, and that's take care of Americans.
Now, you know, it don't take a whole lot of imagination to understand that something is crazy about this. But it's real. These devils have closed down this country because they want to continue to do what Doge found out they were doing, sending money to other countries for that alphabet foolishness and a lot of other foolishness that ain't got a damn thing to do with those of us here that's paying taxes. And they are really pushing for this whole idea of $1.5 or $7 trillion to give medical services to these damn illegal invaders. That's what it's about. It don't make sense. You got airplanes stolen. You got military people can't eat. You got some of these damn people that don't work, don't do nothing, but they can't even get benefits to take care of them kids they got. But you blame Trump. No, it ain't on Trump. This is on you democratic reptilians. And I swear that when the deal go down, I hope Trump and them break their kneecaps and that they figure out a way to dismantle the Democratic Party. America should not have a Democratic Party. These people are unfit to be called a legitimate political party in this country. Hit the next clip, Mr. McDonald, because we're running out of time. I just want to go through this real quick.
So for 2 years, pro-Palestine individuals were terrorizing colleges.
This guy makes an excellent point.
So for 2 years, pro-Palestine individuals were terrorizing colleges, assaulting people they didn't agree with them, assaulting Jews for just being Jews, because they wanted a ceasefire and stop the genocide. Well, that's happened thanks to President Trump. And where's all the celebration for all that hard work? How come they're nowhere to be found?
I mean, they may be just a little depressed, right? Because what are they going to do now?
And see, and then why Mr. McDonald is finding the other one, because I'm not going to say too much on that, but the bottom line is this: they was paid operatives. Just like when they come and they disrupt these areas, those are basically paid operatives. And that's why Trump is moving on that Antifa and all them other homegrown terrorists. Now, it's amazing. Trump been over there and cut this deal with those people. And all of these little creatures creating all that confusion, ain't none of them celebrated. You don't see none of them on the news or nowhere. Why? Because they was not out there on a legitimate mission. They was out there to create confusion and chaos, which is the objective of these damn democratic reptilians. Keep running, Mr. McDonald.
It has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts, and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Great people. Thanks for this decision, and thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case, because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country.
Now, you know, this is something that's really pathetic, particularly for you damn colored, so-called black African Americans. You have just defamed every slave and every Negro that ever lived and died in this country. Because you know damn well Trump is right. That damn amendment was for babies of slaves. And you want to sit here and ride with these democratic reptilians and just let all of these illegal invaders in under something that was for us at that time. But now you want to say that Trump is doing it because he's a racist or a bigot. No, you're a damn fool. That is not something that Negroes should be out here talking crazy about Trump about. He don't need it now. Negro children are not really slaves now. They might be a slave because your damn mama is a dope fiend, your daddy is a dope fiend, so you're a different type of slave, but the type of slavery that we was in, our ancestors was in. And you allowed the damn Democrats to take Negro off the census. And you got the audacity to think you're going to get some reparations. You ain't going to never get no damn reparations because you're too stupid. The only way you could have got reparations is to keep Negro, which was connected to the slave, which they owed you for. But now you're calling yourself black and African American. Hell, there's more black and African Americans in America now than Negroes. But you just stupid. And that's exactly what the hell I said. You running around talking about some Project 2025, Trump, Trump, Trump. Well, Obama drank out of that cup. Clinton drank out of that cup. That damn Bush drank out of that cup. You Negroes, like this little boy down on the 5th floor, dumb, ignorant rascal, telling you gonna hold Trump accountable. You ain't accountable. I'm going to leave you alone. But the truth of the matter is, you people got this thing twisted. All of this confusion over some illegal invaders. So clouded in your eyes that you can't see what anybody that's got common sense can see. That damn 13th Amendment, that birthright amendment piece, that is something that was for our babies, not for these damn people's babies. Thank you, Mr. Trump and Supreme Court. Go on, brother.
Officer was set to be sworn in tonight by the village board. It's become an official Hanover Park police officer, that is, until he was taken into custody by ICE agents here earlier this morning. The Department of Homeland Security confirming the arrest happened today in Hanover Park, saying he overstayed his tourist visa that allegedly expired back in 2015. DHS says Bojovic was encountered during a targeted operation, part of Operation Midway Blitz. Federal officials also say that Hanover Park police records confirm he was approved by the Pension Fund Board of Trustees back in January of this year. Bojovic was seen in this Facebook post from the police department provided by DHS, which was taken in August after the officer graduated from the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. DHS released a statement on the arrest this afternoon, saying in part, Governor J.B. Pritzker does not just allow violent illegal aliens to terrorize Illinois' communities. He allows illegal aliens to work as sworn police officers. Rajul Bojovic violated our nation's laws and was living illegally in the U.S. for 10 years. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem also commenting on social media today, saying ICE arrested an illegal alien working as a sworn police.
McDonald. Now, the point is this. And they got a few more clips, but let me just tell you, this damn Pritzker, it ain't no secret. He been talking about this before they got that purge law. That's what he want. He want illegals to be the police, but they don't want no Negro to be the police. They want illegals. In this case, this one don't seem to be a Hispanic. But now you got all these other type of people that's police. But now him and Johnson don't see nothing wrong with that. Ain't that a trip? This dude here has been educated, trained, has a gun, was getting ready to hit the streets, and he ain't even a damn citizen. And then Pritzker got the audacity to go around and signify with Trump. And that little boy got the audacity to think that he's Trump's equal. If Trump already said what they should do to him, and Trump about right. And Trump gonna eventually get around, particularly to that little colored one, because he don't have no idea. See, that's what's wrong with y'all. You in those positions, and you don't even know how to talk to people. You act like you's a thug. Now, how you gonna act like a thug, and the man done took millions of dollars from you? And the more you run your damn stupid mouth, the more he take. Places you going somewhere and getting some classes in how to be politically correct. You out here talking about the rights of some people that ain't got no right to be here. Go on, y'all. Next piece. Before we run out of time.
As the Moy Public School Superintendent Ian Roberts was arrested on Friday, September 26th by U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement for allegedly being in the United States state illegally, according to federal courts and local officials. Here's what we know as of Friday afternoon. Tricia McGlough and a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security pretty confirmed Roberts' detention and said a court had issued a final order of removal in May 2024, the deportation of the Guyana native and longtime U.S. president. She said Roberts abandoned his car and fled from police on Friday and was allegedly in possession of a large amount of cash and weapons. In an email statement, Department of Homeland Security called Roberts a, quote, criminal illegal alien, quote. The Homeland Security statement says Roberts entered the United States on a student visa in 1999. It also states that Robert was working for the school district despite having no work authorization.
Now, think about this. Trump told you that them damn immigrants was taking jobs from Negroes. Here's this fake imposter making $300,000 a year, lied about his credentials, running around there like he's a big shot, taking advantage of DEI, taking advantage of affirmative action, a damn illegal alien, invader, with the audacity to show you he needed to be back in his homeland. So the police roll on him. And what do? He break from the car and run to the bush. I guess he thought he was in the jungle some damn way. Where in the hell you think you gonna get away in the bush with the lions? This ain't Africa, dude. You can't run from your car and outrun the police in the bush. But yet you had him being the principal of schools, being the superintendent of a damn whole district. But a black man with a PhD can't even get a job as a substitute teacher. That's because of you damn bigot Democrats. And I think that Obama woman had something to do with this boy here, that illegal they talking about, being able to con at them white folk over there in Iowa. But y'all, now you got the government closed down over what? Illegal invaders. Go on, Mr. McDonough. Don't play no more of that. Skip anything that's dealing with that and go to something we ain't talked about because we're going to run out of time.
From Guyana was able to trick the people of Des Moines,
of illegal aliens that are here in the United States working in everyday jobs and the like, and some of them, like this individual who has a possession charge.
Illegal immigrants who are registered to vote and are voting in our elections, people said, that's not true, that's ridiculous. No, it's
Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to
sue him for paying military members during a government shutdown. To every Democrat and liberal out there, why the fuck do you guys stand by this? So they're out here fighting for healthcare for illegal immigrants, but they want to sue the Trump administration for paying for military members' salaries during a shutdown. No, you know what? This isn't a shutdown. This is a hostage situation because give us what we want or else. Shouldn't it be America first? Shouldn't we be worried about paying our military members, the ones who are out there keeping us safe? But no, they want to make sure that military members don't get paid. They are asking, well, where's all this random money from the tariffs coming from to keep the women and infant children's program open? So wait a minute, you mean to tell me that you guys knew exactly what was going on, you knew exactly how much money was there, and yet you just want to make sure that that gets allocated to illegal immigrants, but for what? Oh, I think we all know. You guys are losing voters by the day. Every single thing that comes out, like, I don't know, peace in the Middle East, that he is solving for you guys are losing voters. You are losing people on your side. And now you're desperate that you have to go and create voters. Again, this is not a shutdown. I'm not arguing with anybody in my comment section about, oh, well, Trump owns the House and the Senate. He can just call everybody back in together. And if he's such a great peace deal maker, then maybe he just needs to make that happen. I'm not arguing with you guys because this is no longer a shutdown. This is a hostage situation.
All right, we can cut her off and let's see if we can get a little piece of something about Trump and the peace deal he cut and the deal that the lady that did get the Nobel Peace Prize dedicated to Trump. You know, you devils, you Democrats, particularly you damn coloreds, y'all don't want to give a man credit. But the man deserved credit.
Democrats freaking out about paying the people that are protecting our country and, frankly, the world. The Democrats are threatening to use every single law in their book to say that this move is illegal, and if Donald Trump go forward with it, they will sue, they will use more government.
Donald Trump again, but this time the reason's probably gonna piss off a lot of people. Are you in the military? Do you have any friends or family in the military? If so, you're not supposed to get paid because the government is shut down. And Democrats have now voted 8 different times to keep it closed. But Donald Trump ordered Pete Hegseth to find the money to make sure military members get paid anyways. And for the Democrats, that is a big problem. Not only because it makes Trump look good, but because it also makes the Democrats look bad. And because it relieves a lot of the pain of the government being shut down in the first place. And if the Americans don't feel the pain, then there's no urgency to open the government.
Proud Democrat, and he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration. I thought the stock market would tank, and I'm pretty happy with my 401k. There's a few things that I just thought things would go wrong, and I'm very happy.
Well, that is big of you to say. It'll probably lose you some friends in this polarized environment that we're in right now. But there's nothing wrong with being happy with results.
A lot of calls saying the exact same thing. And the sad part is that she feels that she can't say it, you know. But anyway, David from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Mr. Carver. First of all, I'm a registered Democrat who voted for Trump. I thought this would never happen, but some of the Democratic Party.
During the Schumer shutdown, air traffic controllers are working for free. President Trump is flying to Israel to bring peace, you know, because of war. Yet the Democrats are flying into Napa Valley to stay in a, we'll say, almost $1,200 a night room to fundraise for the Democrats at a bougie winery. Let's go back. Air traffic controllers are working for free. If you're still voting Democrat, let's just say your elevator don't go all the way to the top. Shame. Shameful behavior.
Now, let me tell you something. This is really ridiculous. These damn elected officials, they getting paid. But they don't want nobody else to get paid. And they flying around here in these damn airplanes and at retreats in hotels. That's the contempt they have for you. And see, what Trump is doing is holding and standing his ground. They say this thing allowed to go on to December. That's a hell of a thing. That's because the Democrats know they can't win. Because Trump and them are not going to give them no money to keep giving medical services to them damn invaders. Until next time, it appears we almost out of here. And I guess we got about 5 more seconds. Appreciate the fact that, you know, we was able to do this down here. We're going to be doing these shows 25-minute hits. So we're going to do 25 with You Are the Power. We're going to do 25 with True That. And we're going to do 25 or Speak on It. And that's just how we're going to do it. An hour show, I don't want to look at no hour show, and I know you don't want to look at me for no hour. And we ain't going to deal with no more of that. It's going to be 25 or thereabouts. And from now on, we'll try to have our system a little bit more fluent so we can have this all bunched together and you have it in clutters. But you got the drift. There's a whole lot going on here. But thank God for Trump.
Closing up Republican programs because we think they work. So the Democrats are getting killed, but they're not telling the people about that. I say it, nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it, but so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.